my God, what is all that?
Well, I've been working, can't you tell?
That does not look like your coat.
It could be my coat.
Short and
Well, I
pleated.
hate it to say it, but it is one of my helper's coats. He was in the crawl space yesterday. Hey, welcome to House to Home. It's me and this young lady, Andrea. We're back for another episode. Can you believe? Number 5. We're flying.
We are flying.
Yes, we're making some hay, is what they call that. What a farmer says, making hay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get so dirty I have corn growing in my ears. I heard that little saying going.
Never heard that one. I need to go wash my hands though.
I wish this was my coat, but it's not. But when we come back, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about where do you even start in a crazy place like this, or even in a small project. So join us when we get back.
When that garage door doesn't open like it used to, then it's time to call Strobel Door and Repair of Russell. They'll travel to almost anywhere in Kansas to repair or replace garage doors for residential or commercial applications. The crews from Strobel can replace your garage door, adjust it, and can replace or fix your garage door opener. Call them and set up your appointment today and save on that frustration. Strobel Door and Repair of Russell. Call 785-483-7665. That's 785-483-7665.
Inspiration, it's all around us. You just need to know where to look. Investing in your house is one of the best financial things you can do for your family. At First Assured Mortgage, we're inspired by you to help you find the best loan for your needs. Come and see us at First Assured Mortgage, where we're locally owned, and we'll meet you anytime, in the evening or during the day. 785-621-4447.
Looking for a new career? Midwest Energy has great careers in electric and natural gas utilities throughout central and western Kansas. We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a wide variety of field and administrative positions. Most positions require community or technical college, and internships are available. Learn more at mwenergy.com. Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative making energy work for you.
You see their trucks all over the area. The name? JDR Painting. They're getting great reviews for great painting jobs. JDR Painting, respecting your home and your business with great painting results. JDR Painting, a new way to get a little, medium, and big painting job done. You can even book your painting jobs online to be done when you want it done. Schedule it now at repaintkansas.com. JDR Painting, a new and refreshing way to paint.
Pretty good stuff here, huh? What do you think of all the little bit of destruction?
Yeah.
Compared to the last, compared to the tour?
There, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back to House to Home. You know, what we're going to do is, I think what we should start off with is where do you begin? I mean, where would you even begin on a project this big? One of the things that I think maybe I kind of forget about is I've done this a lot.
Yeah.
You notice safety first, but we probably don't need that right now. But one of the things I have learned is I kind of take for granted that I've done this so many times, and so it just kind of comes natural to me to just tear out all the walls, and then we worry about when to put them back. This morning I was actually visiting with a young lady who's a personal trainer, and I actually want to start feeling a little better, and so she asked me this simple question. She goes, well, how much water do you drink a day? And I'm like, and she goes, if you even have to think about it, you're not drinking enough water. And she went on to say, feeling better is about a good foundation. And I'm like,
Right. That's where we started.
That's where we start on houses, with a good foundation.
Yeah.
And so it really made me kind of think about, we may know what we're doing, and a lot of people that take on a project like this, where do they begin? And so where do you begin? You're redoing a bathroom.
I am, and I actually began by taking a class with you, but I also did a lot of research on, like, I'm doing a bathroom and dimensions of how much space there should be between the toilet and the vanity and things like that. Now, I wasn't taking down walls, and that takes a lot more research.
Right, and where do you even start when you're thinking, okay, I want to research how much room a bathtub needs or how much room a shower needs? I mean, what did you Google? Did you go out and Google it, or how did you do it?
I used my home improvement Bible that I had last week.
The home improvement Bible, yeah. I think It's funny, I just bought a 47 Ford, and one of the first things I did was I ordered a shop manual,
Yeah.
because it's the Bible for that truck.
Yeah.
And so it makes perfect sense if you start there. What do you think you learned? What do you think you got out of the book compared to, let's say, going out and talking to somebody at Heartland, a professional there, or an electrician?
Well, I mean, I think you could learn the same information from Heartland or anywhere else. For me, it was right there. I could study it, I could think about it, come back to it. I mull things over for a while, so it takes me time before I actually jump in and do it.
And so true. When I closed on this house and bought this house, the first thing I literally did is I drove and got me a cup of coffee. I had my tape measure, my pencil, and I had this note, my stack of
Yes.
notes, and I literally just spent time just kind of meandering around in here and getting a feel for what's here.
Yep.
This is a little different than, you live in your house.
Yeah.
And so you've got that bathroom you're going to do so you can see it all the time, where a project this big, I literally walked around the house with a notepad and I drew all the walls.
Yeah.
Then I got my tape measure out and I measured
them all.
everything out, because it's so different when you, if you just sketch something and you're like, well, I can just move the kitchen here. What ends up happening is it's not to scale.
Yeah.
So what may look like in just like a bathroom remodel, you may think, well, I can put this huge shower in, and then you get in there and you're like, well, wait a minute, you got to get out of the tub to stand on the toilet to wash your hands,
Right.
and so it doesn't work out. So by creating that scale, it kind of helps you. And I stopped by and to
Yeah.
check out your bathroom project, and you were working with the mirror and some electrical,
Rerunning electrical.
which
Yeah.
was really cool.
Yeah.
So you were thinking it through before you kind of dove in. I kind of like the free hanging outlets.
Yeah,
Do you?
it kind of makes me want to swing from
I-
Tarzan or something, but
I mean, it's
I'll
kind of
not
handy.
do that.
If you want to cook, get in the tub, flip on the switch.
yeah, I think there's a rule about switches and tubs.
You think so?
Or
How
electrical
about the
tubs.
pooper in the bedroom?
Well,
I
I have one in my backyard.
Oh well, you've gone all out with it. Yeah, I like that. And another thing I did that I used to not do, but it's just something I've actually started taking the time to do, is this. I actually started going into, I learned how to go into some of the GIS sites that the
What's GIS?
Geographical Information Systems, so mapping.
Okay.
And so I went in there and I could pull up maps that show the zoning, and I wanted to start to, I thought it was important that I understand the zoning of where this house sits, because the last thing I want to do is invest $100,000 into a house that's going to have, you never know what's going to happen in the neighborhood. So I wanted to understand my zoning.
Like you don't want to put a basement in a house that's in a flood zone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Well, you
exactly.
could, but-
you could, but would you? Yeah, what's going to be the Speaking of that,
Repercussions.
what do you have to do to put a basement in a flood zone? And so I just started going through and printing off things. There's a revitalization neighborhood in the area, so you can have some tax savings. Lots and utilities. Believe it or not, in the GIS system, it shows you where the sewer and the water are. So now I understand the sewer's in the back and the city's in the front. And speaking of, I actually printed off a building permit.
Well, and I was going to ask about that. So I know that the city has restrictions and things. When do you have somebody come out and say, yes, you can do this, and no, you can't?
Well, probably before I tore all the walls out.
Well, that might have been a good idea. Did you do
Probably
that?
when I should have. No,
No.
I didn't.
Better not let the city see this.
However, to save me, I do have a building permit completely filled out. And guess what I did? I called the building inspection department. I said, would one of you guys come down and talk to us about this? And we can just stand in the middle of my project and take a look around, and maybe I need a permit, but I'm not sure if I do or not. So we're about to find out.
Oh, okay, cool.
We'll talk to the professional next. Join us when we come back, House to Home.
Since 1892, Heartland Building Center has continued to provide
Northwest Kansas with superior customer service and quality products.
Offering high-performance windows and doors.
Beautiful cabinetry.
Floor and roof trusses.
Storage sheds, lumber, and decking.
everything for the professional and the do-it-yourself homeowner.
With a full line of hardware.
2 superior paints and stains.
we've got it.
At your locally owned and operated Heartland Building Center, Hayes, Stockton, and Russell.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Gable with Technology Integration Solutions. Call us today for a free estimate and let us see how we can simplify things for you.
Your house, you've painted it, fixed it, you've insured it, paid its taxes, and you've loved it. We think it owes you big time. So at Bank of Hayes, we've made it easy to take some of that equity you put into your house and turn it into cash you can put in your pocket. And with that cash, you can do anything. With Home Equity Line of Credit, we'll make your house pay. And it's about time.
Building better ways. The Bank of Hayes.
Building better ways. The Bank of Hayes.
Western Supply in Hayes has been working with local contractors and homeowners for over 25 years, providing faucets and fixtures for new home and remodeling projects. Come on into Western Supply and let their in-house consultants work with you. Western Supply has 2 brand new showrooms full of ideas to meet all of your kitchen and bath needs. If you can dream it, we have it. Everything from one-piece and multi-piece showers to bathroom tubs and tops. It's all right here.
Come see us at Western Supply, 1207 Cedar, Hayes.
Well, welcome back to House to Home. Hey, we found us a professional.
Yay.
A city guy. Huh? Curtis,
Yes.
welcome to House to Home.
Thank you.
Welcome to the old stone house on 19th Street. I don't know if you've met Andrea. I think you guys just met too.
Yes.
We were just talking about, you know, when you're taking on a project like this or a little project or really any project in your house, it's a good idea. You know, I hear a lot of people say permit, schmermit. You know, they don't want to call you guys. They don't want to get involved.
Right.
Why? Well, number one, what do you do in planning inspection? And then why do people need a permit?
Basically, I am a building inspector. I've been doing that since 2003, and we go over all the permits. If you have a project that you want to do, I review all the plans, come in, talk to people to see what they can and can't do, or give them guidance. And that's what I really like to do. Sit down with someone to go over what they want to do and help them out so they can do what they want to the best that they can with today's regulations.
And I think what a lot of people think is I think in general, and I'm gonna spill the beans here. I was one of those guys.
Sure.
For the longest time, thought, you know what, I just don't want them in my business because I know what I want and I know what I want to do. But I found that by turning that around and getting you guys involved, because you're out doing, you're learning, you're training, you have this, you know, talk about safety, and especially for me, because I love the old houses,
Yep.
and they weren't necessarily built up to what today's standards are.
Correct.
How
I
does
mean,
that-
that's a lot of it, of doing an old house like this. The electrical wiring, what you see here is not up to today's code. So we have to go in and look at it to know, does it need updated? You know, is it safe? You know, there's a lot of older houses that have the knob and tube and different things that are really bad, to where we just make sure that it's safe for the people who want to live there, because most times they do a project, you want that project to last for many, many years, but if you're covering up things that aren't safe, then you're only susceptible to problems later.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense, because, and I think that was the, I don't know if it's just a misconception or just because I'm just a stubborn old German, but Hunzefuts, yeah, I mean, I do know that now, but. Yeah. And that translates into something about the cameraman, but I'm not sure what that is, but you can check that out if you want. But anyway, you know, and when you think of safety in an old house like this, and you think about, you know, the electrical wiring, and you start thinking about those kinds of things, so I can come to you and say, hey, or I can say, come down and take a look at what I have.
Absolutely.
And you can take us, you know, guide me, and make sure that I'm not putting in, you know, a new entrance that's too small or way too big for maybe what I need. So you
Sure.
can kind of help guide those things?
Absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing is ask questions, because if you don't know, then you're not going to, you may not do it correctly.
Right.
And then you have our office come by your project, and then that's when it's usually gone the wrong way, or you get more upset because now the city's involved. But if you
Yeah.
ask questions up front, we're gladly to help. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd rather come by any day and help you out.
So, like, a bigger project like this makes sense that there might be some permit needs.
Absolutely.
I'm remodeling a bathroom. I mean, how small of a project or big of a project or what type of project needs permit?
Well, if you're doing a cosmetic update, most people these days, they don't really change the footprint of the room. They just want to put in new cabinets, new tile, you know, new shower. If you're really not moving fixtures, moving plumbing, moving electrical, you're probably okay. But do you have a mechanical fan in your bathroom? A lot of the old ones don't. Do you have a window? There's some little things that just the questions to ask and we'll help you out. You know, that's why it's just that communication to get started.
That makes sense because, you know, back in the day, bathrooms didn't have fans at all. Then they started adding fans and you could ventilate them to the attic.
Right.
And now you need to be ventilating them outside with,
Right.
with a ventilation kit that goes out through the roof. So those changes in the progression,
Right.
you just kind of learn, and that's how you guys can step in and help
Absolutely.
figure that out. Because I think it goes right back to, you know, the prevention thing we talked earlier about, you know, Googling and looking into some things, but it's different too. The laws are different in different cities.
Right.
One town may say this, but another town may say that.
I like do-it-yourself network myself. However, you can learn and see things that people don't do correctly, or YouTube has a lot of videos that do things well, but you need to just come by, ask questions.
Yeah, you know, one of the things I always love about those shows is when they're getting ready to cut a wire, I'm like, don't cut it. Don't cut that wire. Don't cut it. And then boom, and then you're like, I told you not to cut it.
Renovation reality comes true. And we've had some to where we've had a homeowner too hire a contractor or what they thought was a licensed contractor, and then we can't protect you.
And so that's a whole, so let's say I do want to bring in a contractor to help me. I haven't pulled a permit. You can prevent that then by saying, hey, on my building permit, which by the way, believe it or not, I do have it filled out. I've got a few questions for you.
Sure.
When you get that contractor and you put their name on the list, you're going to go through and make sure they're a licensed contractor.
Absolutely. We're a small enough town to where we pretty much know off the top of our heads, or look in our computer system, know that. So
yeah, and so I can see where looks like a ghost just walked through the house. Huh? The doors are all open and closed. I'm like, come on in. But so I can see the benefit. There's way more. It's what's a ounce of prevention is a cure. There's some kind of saying out there that says something.
Yes.
It's a pound of cure brings bacon from breakfast, or I don't know what it is, but it's something like that. So I think that's we're serious, but we try to keep it fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I do think I see the benefit now in coming and asking you guys the questions, because I would much rather do it right the first time.
As we will.
Yeah, because you're right. What ends up happening is you go in there and you try to do it yourself, and then you come by and you take a look and say, well, that's wrong. You got to take it back out.
Mm-hmm. And that's the hardest thing for even contractors and homeowners. We come by, tell them to correct something, they take that to heart. And it's really just for the best of the project and the home that you get the right thing.
Well, that's very cool. You're welcome to come by anytime you'd like. When you see the front door open, that means come on in.
Okay.
Andrea, myself, and Curtis, thank you very much for coming by here today and helping us out, giving us some guidance that we can work towards now. And join us when we come right back.
With high winds and sub-freezing temperatures, Kansas winters can be brutal. But take heart, Glassman Plumbing, Heating and Air is only a phone call away. We will service your existing furnace system, or if required, replace it with a high-efficiency Carrier system. Affordable, warm comfort from Glassman and Carrier. Turn to the experts and stay warm and cozy all winter with Glassman Plumbing, Heating and Air.
The choice is perfectly clear. Glassman Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Moving is hard. So much has happened here. I mean, this was Grace's first home. But this new home, well, it's what we always dreamed about. And it's so exciting to think of what will begin here.
And I will do it for you.
For auto, home, life, and health, see American Family Insurance Agent Whitey Cole of Hayes and Ellis.
After a hard day's work, there's nothing quite like enjoying an ice-cold beer and biting into a juicy Q burger from the Golden Q in Hayes. The Q offers 12 beers on tap from the ice-cold Blizzard beer system, poured at a chilly 27 to 30 degrees. When it comes to burgers, the Golden Q is the only choice. Try the Q burger or one of the many specialty burgers like the Bacon Extreme or 4-cheese double cheeseburger. If a burger's not your thing, a delicious sandwich or bowl of homemade soup is waiting for you. And remember, if the game's on, they're open. The Golden Q, 8th and Ash in Hayes.
Well, Andrea, we're wrapping up another very informative House to Home. Welcome back. I'll tell you what, that dude knows his stuff.
Yeah,
Kris,
he knows a ton.
Yeah, it's funny, we were talking off camera and we're just talking about, one discussion about water heaters went from electric to wall mount, self-circulating. I mean, I was like 64 ounces of water in I'm like, maybe you ought to send me some information on all this.
I know, you've remodeled a couple of homes, some homes in here, you're still learning stuff about
I mean, because there is, well, and I think what's cool is the way Curtis talked about the fact of how things change and are constantly changing. And then, which is going to lead us into a whole nother episode talking about green, the whole water saving, and water saving toilets. And you just don't think about those kinds of things. And it was interesting how he took us back and he just started rattling off, and I'm like,
you better send that to me. I'm not going to remember it all.
Yeah, I mean, it made me go from creating a very simple plumbing plan to, I think I need to rethink this.
Yeah.
And it's going to, so it's really going to change a lot of what kind of the plans are. Maybe not the location of the toilet, but definitely the type of toilet, or, again, it goes back to, that's why we need, that's why you should get a permit.
And really, well, even a permit or just their knowledge on things. Like my husband and I put up a fence, and you don't need a permit for that necessarily, but we learned that there are height restrictions when they're so close to a sidewalk or the corner of the street, and so they know that all that information to get that before you build it and then have to tear it down.
Because you may Google it, and you may be looking at information that's old, or maybe it's for somewhere else, another location, and you're like, well, wait a minute, we did it this way. And I think that's where maybe some of that stuff happens, where you just say, well, this, city schmitty, you don't want to get him involved. I don't need a permit. I'll do this on my own. And the next thing you know, you've got an electrician doing things the wrong way, or who knows what are you
my hammer in the background.
I'm telling you, give that guy a hammer back there.
A serious ghost in this house.
By the way, that's the guy, the coat I was wearing, he was in the crawl space. He cleaned it all out by hand with a hand rake yesterday. That's why it was so dirty, but you give that guy a hammer and say, take out that wall.
Oh, okay, I thought it was our ghost from earlier.
Yeah, that went flying through the house. But good stuff.
Yeah.
And I think what's cool is they have what you need as a homeowner to go out there and to really, when you're in that phase of drawing and saying, hey, can I do this, or this is what I want to do. And I think it's more about, hey, this is what I want to do. They're going to help you find the plan that you can do.
The plan and design it to its best capabilities.
Yeah, to bring an old house up to date, or if you're building a new home, or like you said, a new fence, make sure you do it the right way the first time, so that way it doesn't cause issues with the, he is getting after it.
He's going to town.
I love that boy. He's after my heart, that's what it is. But oh yeah, you do have footage of him working away. I'm telling you, he's a go-getter. But great episode.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Another one down.
Another one down.
Thank you for joining us on House Home. In just a moment, we're going to join Ken Loos. Huh? Loos. Why can I not remember Ken Loos? My name's Larry, and this is Sylvia. When we come right back, join us on If My Walls Could Talk.
If you're ready to replace your bath or shower enclosure and want a professional installation, stop by Advantage Glass Plus in Hayes. Select a standard or customized enclosure, framed or frameless, with hinged, pivoting, or sliding doors. Give your bath some personality and style with patterned glass available in many textures, including obscured, clear, and rain. Let the glass experts from Advantage Glass Plus create your new bath enclosure. 1005 Vine in Hayes. Find our ad in the Next Tech directory.
I'm Jennifer Tepfer, and I found my new home at Williams Real Estate.
I'm Jerry Wilson, and I found my new home at Williams Real Estate.
I'm Jennifer Johnson, and I found my new home with Williams Real Estate.
We found our new home. Let us help you find yours.
Williams Real Estate, for residential or commercial, 1011 East 27th Street in Hayes in the Eagle Business Plaza. Or you can see them online at williamsrealestate.net. Why go anywhere else but Horizon Appliance and Electronics for quality name brand appliances like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Maytag, plus many state-of-the-art electronics such as Samsung, LG, and Sharp TVs, plus America's most recommended mattress, Tempur-Pedic, even Traeger grills. A full selection of quality appliances, electronics, and mattresses all under one roof. Horizon Appliance and Electronics in Hayes, open 7 days a week.
It's not hard to figure out why Western Stone and Hayes is so busy these days. Since opening their doors in 2008, their motto has been a simple one: offer a high-quality product in a very timely manner. Take a look around. Their work speaks for itself. If it's important to you to have someone call you back, getting the job done quickly, professionally, and on budget, then give Western Stone a call to book your project today. With everything manufactured on site, Western Stone products are built to outlast the competition. Western Stone, just east of Walmart in Hayes.
Okay. Yeah, so what we're going to do here is just kind of renovate and move this kitchen around the other side.
Oh, cool.
Hey, we're back. Welcome back to House to Home. And our last segment, as always, is if my walls could talk. I think it's been a long day, Ken.
It probably has been a long day. It's a Friday. Yeah.
I'm Kris, and I'm joined again as last week with Ken Loos. Loos?
How can
You know what I love? You know what I think is awesome about rebuilding a person's life?
What's that?
I'll tell you what, but is learning to laugh again.
Yes.
I tell you what, one of the things that has absolutely changed in my life is, after Blake died and after a couple divorces, and let me tell you, I've got a pilot's license, and that would not have been a good time for me to fly.
Yeah.
But I actually bought me a new headset because I want to get back up in the air again. And I know things are changing. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I was showing him here about renovating the house and what we're going to be doing here. And Andrea and I walked around the house earlier, and we talked about kind of the renovations and things we're going to do. And what does I think maybe I'm a little unconventional when it comes to, and then maybe I'm not unconventional when it comes to rebuilding life. What does a person do when they've really sat down and said, you know what, I need help? What does a person do?
I think first is that step. I know it can almost be a cliche, but recognizing that this is not getting any better on your own, that this is not something that's just going to go away very quickly. I think, Kris, one of the things as Americans, we get very impatient with ourselves. I think particularly in the Great Plains region, as we mentioned earlier, men can be very stoic. They don't want to come across as whiners, complainers. And so if you just accept the fact that this is a process, if you accept the fact that, this is something that maybe reaching out would be a good idea, that is step one. The other thing to recognize is that things get better gradually. Again, kind of reiteration. It takes time, that process aspect. But if you reach out to people that you trust, if you reach out to people that will listen, that's truly step one, to feel like you're being listened to. And it takes practice for someone to be a good listener, because sometimes as Americans we want to just solve the problem. We want to figure out where to put the door. We want to figure out very quickly instead of maybe taking the time to say.
That's very true. So a set of plans, it's not really like coming up with a set of plans when you're renovating a house. It has to be more fluid.
It's got to be a little more fluid. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I found through my journey that my family, going to my family, they weren't really the best people. to go to. Nothing against my family. I mean, I like most of them. But
Well, that sounds normal. I mean,
But you know, I found that I had to go outside of the box. And I'll be honest, when it came to saying, hey, why don't you go talk to somebody, right away I thought, oh, I'm a guy. This is not how I was raised.
Right.
And I'm going to tough it out. I think society in general, and not just in Western Kansas, but all of America, guys aren't, we're supposed to tough it out.
Supposed to tough it out. We're supposed to be stoic. We're supposed to kind of set the example. The problem, though, is that things bubble inside of us that I think sometimes, like a pressure cooker, yeah. I think sometimes people will use alcohol and other substances to try to, again, self-medicate themselves or try to keep that pressure down.
Right.
That does not work as well. The bottom line, you mentioned it with your family, when you go to somebody else, objectivity is the key. Your family, by definition, they love you, they care about you, there's a history. You cannot be objective to someone that you care about, love, and you've lived with forever. You have to go to someone who can listen to what you're going through, can put it in perspective. We all know that we're not alone, but there is something about having someone who's objective to say, hey, what you're going through is really, really tough. There's a normal course of this kind of thing. There's a way that people have found to maybe help them get through this process of grief. Let's try some of these things. Let's talk about some of these things. That's a very powerful part of therapy.
To validate, and I think it's very much like when I do a house, it's cool to share it and to validate the work so you carry it on to the next one. I'll tell you what, if my walls could talk, my walls are going to keep talking. I'd love to have you back as a guest again sometime, and we'll talk some more. I promise I won't make you get in the crawl space.
That would be good, yeah. Or risk anything with power tools or anything. Not quite.
I won't do that.
All right.
Hey, thank you for joining us with House to Home this week. We'll see you next week. You never know where we'll be. Hey, bring a pencil. You'll need one.